Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this edition of Monday Motivation. Before we get into the title and everything like that on this edition of Monday Motivation, what I wanted to do is speak about the fact that this first quarter is over and done with. From the beginning of this year until now, the first quarter is gone. Time that you will never get back. Hopefully you've been keeping your nose to the grindstone and you've been actually staying focused and getting things accomplished, because a quarter of this year has already passed us. Have you really been focused? Have you gotten things accomplished? It's a perfect opportunity to take a look at your goals that you said you wanted to get accomplished for this year, right? Take a look at those goals, see what you've accomplished, see what you still have yet to accomplish for the rest of this year. And it might be time to do some, revamping. Take a look at, the fact that you may have to work double time in order to get some things accomplished, right? Perfect opportunity, you guys. Something really quick, because that time has actually passed. So every time we have a quarter that has actually passed, of course, I'm going to go back and try to remind you that time is passing, and it's a perfect opportunity to take a look at your goals and see if you're actually getting those things accomplished. All right. The title of this Monday Motivation this week is Stop Hustling. Now, I don't mean stop hustling in the sense that you're going to stop actually going out there every day and trying to get things done, where you're actually going out there and trying to make as much money as possible, grow your business, whatever. Not in that sense. What I mean by stop hustling is that having, say, a venture that you started where you don't have a business license, you don't have any type of structure behind what it is that you're actually doing. Okay, perfect example. Say a guy, he wants to start a venture, right? He's got a job and he does pretty good work cutting his own lawn. So people are like, hey, will you come and cut my grass? He's like, cool. How much will you charge? Well, I'll charge $30 to cut your grass, right? You want me to do the edging as well? All right, I charge $50. So he's like, all right, pretty good, pretty cool, enterprising young person or something like that, right? He says, okay, well, I'm gonna charge you $35 to cut it. If you want me to do the edging, $50. So he does that. Then someone else asks whatever, right? So now he's making about $200 a week, and he's just cutting grass, putting the cash in his pocket. All right, cool. That's how a lot of people start off with something, right? But there's a problem with that. There's only so much that you can actually grow a venture like that, okay? What I mean, when I'm telling you guys to quote unquote stop hustling, that means take a look at how it's going to benefit you to actually grow that business beyond just a hustle that you do every week, or that every month you just going out there and get some cash here and there. So I wrote down a couple of things that you should think of in this regard. Now, the truth is, I don't know who I'm speaking to when I'm talking about stop hustling. Hopefully, if that's you, it's a message directly for you. All right, but a couple of things I wrote down with regard to stop hustling. Okay, the pandemic, right? During the pandemic, there was a boost in the amount of businesses that were started, small businesses, right? Why was there a boost in small businesses? You had people sitting around, they weren't allowed to go out and do a lot of different things. So they started thinking about things that they could do with their time. Some people started writing books. They started generating online courses that they could do. They started taking online courses. What else did I write down? Oh, they just started basically chasing their dreams, right? They started going out there and doing the things that they had been putting off for quite a while to get those things accomplished, right? So when you look at the economic numbers of everything that's been going on since the pandemic started, right? A lot of people actually started small businesses. They left the hustle alone and they went and made that an actual formal business. All right. One of the main things that I wanted to speak about when I say stop the hustle, right? Stop hustling, is there's only so much that you're going to be able to actually grow your hustle. Let's say you make $100, $200, $500 a week on your hustle, right? You can't grow it but so much, because where are you going to pull all that money? You're going to take all that cash and put it underneath your mattress? When you don't have a business license, when you don't have a legitimate business, there's only so much you can grow that business, because Uncle Sam's going to find out that you've been cheating them and you haven't been paying taxes. And now when they find out about it, you're going to end yourself up in court and stuff like that. I'm telling you right now, it's just not worth it. Now, to start your business in a place where it was basically just a hustle and it became something bigger and you legitimized it, hey, good idea, good option. But there's only so much that you're going to be able to grow that. Now, one of the things about stop hustling and actually starting that business is that your business, your hustle, it's going to generate a certain amount of money, right? And it actually might take care of you. But you cannot you can't pass your hustle off to your family and your kids. But you know what you can pass off to your kids? You can pass off that corporation. You can pass off that business. You can pass off intellectual property. You can pass off things like that to your family and to your children. So just listen, I'm going to keep saying it. Stop hustling, all right? Go ahead and legitimize yourself and get to a place where you can do the types of things that I'm talking about. All right, tax benefits. Did you know that when you start your business, there are tax benefits available to you? One of the tax benefits available to you is this. When you start your business, if you have what's called a capital loss, say you invested in equipment, you invested in storefront, you invested in different things like that, right? You peel some money out of your pocket in order to get this thing off the ground, right? If by the end of the year, you have not made a certain amount of money, you can actually tell the government that you had a capital loss and write the loss off on your taxes. Pretty cool. Protections. I wanted to tell you guys this story about the protections. About 7 years ago, I did business with another business down in the low country, right, of the state that I live in. And the guy wanted to purchase some clothing from me, from my clothing company. So he purchased maybe like $450 worth of clothing, and he had an actual store with clothing and stuff like that in it, right? So I sold the clothing to him at wholesale price. He wrote me a business check, and I went home, deposited that check into my bank, right? That check bounced. Now, this is the greatest part of the story. The county that I live in has protections for businesses that if you write me a bad check in the county that I live in, you can be arrested for writing a business in my county a bad check. Now, if someone had written you a check and you was just hustling, you would have absolutely no protections. You would possibly lose out on all of that money. You would probably have to go to small claims court, all of that. I called my county, told them that someone had passed me a bad check, business to business check, and my business is in this county. They were going to go and arrest this person. What did he wind up doing? He wound up writing another check, making it right, boom. Protections for you as a person that has stopped hustling and started a business. All right. Also, you get help from your Chamber of Commerce. You get the ability to connect with other businesses in your area and do official networking. All right. Let's end this because this is starting to get a little bit long. One of the things I love about not hustling but actually having a business is I'm accountable to myself for the income that I'm generating on a monthly and yearly basis. In fact, I have to do my taxes on a monthly basis with the state, right? And tell them how much money I made and pay my taxes. Now, the taxes, it's negligible. It's not a lot of money compared to how much you're making, right? But it keeps me honest because I'm looking at those figures on a month-to-month basis, and it's letting me know that, say, last year I made this much, this month of this year I made this much. Am I on track to do better than I did last year and stuff like that, right? Checking up on yourself. And one of the great things about stopping the hustle is that you get to learn for the next business that you're going to make, all right? Or you're going to create. Dollars and Cents is my clothing company. It is definitely not the very first business that I started. The very first business that I started, I was doing graphics and doing business cards and things like that for people, and it was generating some income for me. I think I called it business cards, etc. Right? But that when you start your first official business, it's going to be the springboard so that when you start your next business, all right, you'll take the lessons that you learned from that very first business that you started, and you'll take that into that next business. But when you just hustling and you just go from one hustle to the next hustle and you never ever started a legitimate business in your life, you're never going to be able to go to the next level the next time that you want to start a venture. Now, I don't know who that I was speaking to this week, but truth be told, if you got something from this, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that I was able to motivate or maybe even think on another level that the hustle, stop hustling. Start yourself an official business and grow to a whole nother level, okay? All right, and before we let you go, you see that right there? That's why I love this place, man. Before I let you guys go, one of the reasons that I love this park is that I used to be 270 pounds, right? And when I really got serious about losing that weight and getting myself healthy, this is the park that I came to. I ran, I did push-ups, I did squats, I did pull-ups. I came to this park religiously every other day, and I was getting it in, even if it was just a walk. I would come out here and I would get it in. And I went from 275 pounds down to, I think my lowest was like 191. Okay, so I love this place, man. I come here on a regular basis. I don't really work out here too much anymore, every once in a while, but I love coming here, man, because look at the scenery. It's awesome. Yep. You guys have a great week. All right, later.